Hey, welcome to your Aquarius horoscopes for the week of September 24th through the 30th, the very last week of September. We're moving into October next week. It's just crazy. It's just pure craziness. We have Saturn moving pretty close. I mean, it is on the cusp. 1 degree retrograde will probably be 0 degrees next week, which puts it right on the cusp. So we're feeling the effects of Saturn in terms of whatever Saturn is doing this week. And of course, we got some moon action going on this week as well, which is never a pleasant experience, but I guess it's a necessary one, right? Which is going to create some complications. We're looking at Monday here in terms of the moon moving into Sagittarius, into a T square with Jupiter as well as Uranus, which are both in Taurus right now, focused on your day-to-day schedule, and also Venus, which is focused on your long-term goals. And the moon is on that cusp, comes in focused on the past, moves into focus on the mind and how the mind works. And here we have a very clear lesson of don't screw this up like you did last time, right? Here's the deal. Being an Aquarius myself, I know I have big plans. I have big ideas. I am pretty brilliant when it comes up to that kind of stuff. But to put it together and to put it in motion, I'm not a Capricorn. I'm not structured. You can call it lazy, you can call it whatever you want. The point is that a lot of times good ideas that could have been really wonderful for you or the world or the people around you or whatever never come to fruition because you spend more time thinking about it and planning it and less time actually getting it done. And the moon coming in at this time, of course, we're also talking, no, we're not also talking, scratch that, never mind. The moon coming into influences is really going to amplify the frustration over this, hopefully in such a way that you get sick and tired of feeling like that and you actually do something about it. It's usually when I actually start getting something done around it. I just can't take feeling like this anymore. I'm going to just get this done. And then I'm really happy that I did. Um, but we have to keep doing that. We have to keep building. We have to keep evolving. We have to keep moving forward. We're the Aquarians. We're the ones that know this more than any other personality on the planet because it's like we're still connected to the aliens that we came from. We are just a little bit different than everybody else. So we know this, and yet we still do it. Tell me you don't. I'll tell you, you're probably fibbing to me, and I don't like fibbing. Whether I like it or not, I fib to myself a whole lot. So this moon coming in is really going to shake us up around that, which is not fun and not pleasant. And it continues into Wednesday, sort of bringing that element of Saturn and Saturn's retrograde into it as well. We're mirroring this responsibility back to ourselves. I mean, this is huge. We are literally having to see the mess we're making by not doing it and taking responsibility for that. That's really uncomfortable. I am not looking forward to what that looks like. But at the same time, I also know being in this situation before, we're pretty stubborn. We dig our heels in pretty good. Sometimes this is what it takes to knock us out of that. So I guess I can say that will be easier depending on how you take it. How much you fight this lesson is how difficult it is going to be. I've been learning through this whole Mercury retrograde thing that the less I fight it, the easier it is. And some things are easier not to fight than others. We'll just put it that way. So choose wisely. That's what it comes down to. Luckily, that's just a couple of days and everything kind of sort of smooths out from there. We will feel a little bit of the effects of Saturn's opposition with Mercury. I think it goes through the entire week, as a matter of fact. No, it doesn't. It changes. It goes from an opposition with Mercury to an opposition with Venus. So, in terms of his opposition with Mercury, Mercury and Venus are both focused on long-term goals. We're talking about the goals that are sensible and make sense with Mercury, and we're talking about our creative goals. And again, we're looking at our responsibility to our minds and how that's affecting that, right? How is your brain working against you, coming up with excuses, you know, different things like that to justify behavior that makes no sense at all. No successful person ever got that way by not doing anything about it, by sitting in their head trying to come up with how it's going to come out before you even start trying to do anything. It's just chaos. It's complete insanity. Why do that? It's time to take responsibility for your own thoughts, because you own that brain. Nobody else does. You do. And you need to take control over it, because nobody else is going to be able to. I mean, I'm sure they've tried. They just, they just get confused and leave, So that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do click the link in the description and send me a copy. I would really appreciate that. If you're listening rather than viewing, that's ko-fi.com/heavy metal psychic. Also, bump on over to heavymetalpsychic.com and check it out over there as well. Fun stuff going on. I'm Melissa Bruce, the Heavy Metal Psychic, and I will see you guys next week. In the meantime, let's just get out of our heads and get something awesome done. I mean, think about it. If we all got together, can you imagine the awesomeness we could create if we all did it together? Well, we are all doing it together. If we all make that choice this week, think about it that way. I'll see you guys next week. Make it a great week, you guys.